Hello and welcome back to the garden. This week we've been concentrating on our mini orchard, which is one cooking apple tree, which you can see behind me, 3 eating apples and a pear tree. And unlike the rest of the garden, which had been neglected for a long time due to the previous owners being quite elderly, so it was neglected for at least 15 years from what we've heard, and probably longer than that. So what we're trying to do is, this area is the one area that was well maintained. So the trees have been really well pruned, and we want to keep it that way because they're a good height, which means the apples are easy to get to. They're a good shape, which means they're easy to prune if you keep doing it. So we've summer pruned them, which manages that height. It keeps them at a reasonable height, which means they're as lovely as they are now. And what's happened is we've got a lot of prunings around to deal with. So today I want to show you the 3 crops that you can get from summer pruned fruit trees. So we're going to use the apple trees, for 3 different reasons, which I find really exciting, because we're going to eat the apples, obviously. Those are cookers, so I'm going to make those into pies and compote and things like that. And then I'm also going to use all these snippings from the summer pruning that my husband did for me to make leaf mould, which is, I'm going to just strip them all off into a bucket, and then when I've got enough, when I've got loads, I'm going to put them into black bin bags, a few holes in the bottom, and then I'm going to store them behind the shed for a year or 2 until they make the most delicious, fantastic soil improving leaf mould. And then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to use all these sticks, and we're going to shred them in the shredder and make mulch to put on the ground for the winter to keep the moisture in and the weeds down and replenish the soil. It's brilliant. So when you've got enough leaves, I'm going to put them into the black, it's a strong black bin bag. You don't want a really weedy one that's not going to last. I'm going to fill that up with leaves. And then I'm going to punch some holes in it with my trusty knife. I'm going to put some more in here in a minute because there's not actually enough there. Oh, there's another windfall. And that is to aid air circulation to help decomposition over time. And the leaves will need to be moistened a bit as well, because they're really dry, and they do need to be moist to decompose properly. So I'm going to fill this bag up with some more leaves, and then I'm going to take it down to, and another one that I've got, down to the shed to store, and I'm going to take the apples down to the kitchen. Oh, the little ladybird just jumped off there. Well done, ladybird. Ooh. Okay. Okay, the leaves are going to be stored actually around the back of this very attractive shed, and they will be there for about 2 years, rotting down, and then they will be perfect soil conditioner for the garden for free. This whole area is a project for next year because we want to make this into a really useful working area. So we're going to renovate, well, pull down basically this shed and build a new one. It's got a concrete base, so it's really useful, and there's loads of space behind it for things like leaf mould, which is brilliant. Anyway, apples for the kitchen. Ooh. So the next thing to do is to shred these twigs, and I'm going to spread them as a mulch on some of the borders on the older shrubs, not on the new stuff, and I am going to probably put some on the paths as well. Okay, tractive safety goggles on for protection, and headphones for my ears. That's the wrong way round, that way round. Oh, it's hot on my ears. Now I'm going to turn this on, and then you won't be able to hear a word I say. Blimey, it's hot in there. Right, so that's all those ones are now done. I'm going to carry on doing those, and that's 3 crops from 1 tree. It's brilliant. And we'll be back over the next week or so with a couple of recipes and ideas for things to do with all these apples we've been collecting. So do come back and visit soon, and thanks ever so much for watching.